There are a handful of new releases every single week on Nintendo eShop, and I understand that it can be a little hard to sift through and see what's worth playing and what isn't. We try our best to cover as much as we can, but as you guys often say, hey, some of this stuff is kind of shovelware and it's very hard to know what's of quality. Recently, there's been a couple of games that you probably wouldn't think about twice that ended up being pretty good on eShop, and I figured, hey, why don't we select one a week, come in here, talk about it, and just give you guys like our favorite release of the week. Hopefully we'll turn this into a weekly thing. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a cool idea. Of course, this is always going to be like our personal opinion. This isn't like factual or whatever, but hey, every week I'm playing a new game on Switch that I absolutely adore, and I figured why not share this with you guys in a nice, concise little video. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this week's game of the week, which is going to be Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. And this is a strange little game for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a spin-off slash prequel for Ritual of the Night, which is this Kickstarter game that had a stretch goal that if you make a certain amount of money, you will make a 8-bit style smaller game to tide you guys over since the wait is going to be a little long. It'll be made by a different studio. It won't be made by the original creators of Castlevania that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has going for them. But hey, we're gonna have a side game. It's gonna be cool. Oh, also, it's out in 2 weeks. When they just announced this thing like 2 weeks ago, and I thought it looked cool right away. I really did, because I do like, you know, old Castlevania games. But I was like super skeptical because I was like, okay, this is a stretch goal. They just went ahead and paid this other company to make the game. They don't really care. But a lot of love and care went into this game, and I can like safely say that I've been playing it a bunch. I'm a couple of hours in, even though the game is like really short. If you're really good at it, I do hear you can beat the game in right around 2 hours. But the important thing to keep in mind is the game is $10 on eShop, so very little cost investment. A movie ticket costs more than $10 at this point right now, so you can probably have the same amount of fun, if not a little bit longer, for reasons I'll get into here in a little bit. So, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, $10 eShop, that's the basics. For anyone that doesn't know what the game is, and by all intents and purposes, it's basically a Castlevania game. And that's kind of cool because Konami won't make Castlevania games anymore. They gotta make like 6 more Metal Gear spin-offs. But with that out of the way, we'll just talk about this and not Konami. So, if you played an old Castlevania game, something on the NES, Super NES, things like that, you're going to be very at home here. It plays the exact same way, and some of the characters even feel like characters from back then. Of course, Symphony of the Night is the best Castlevania game ever, in my opinion, and even little things are borrowed from there. Of course, you unlock them as you progress. You don't have them all from the beginning. You get one at the end of each level, and then the subsequent levels you can play with all of them. They're very easy to switch. The L button, R button, boom, wham bam, change. If you are in a situation that requires somebody to jump a little higher, switch to one of the characters that can jump a little higher. If you are in a situation where you think range is a little bit more effective, change it to somebody that has that as their strong suit. So that kind of mix-up makes this a really cool little remix of what Castlevania is, and I really appreciated that. The story does serve as a prequel, and the character for Ritual of the Night is actually in this as well, which I thought was like kind of cool. She doesn't like look anywhere near as cool in the game, of course, but hey, she's in there. As far as story and things like that, it does a pretty cool job of setting up what's going to be to come, and I honestly kind of dig the world that they have created here. Now, there isn't a ton of levels. I think there's like 5 or 6. You can finish it relatively quickly, like I said, but for $10, you shouldn't hold it against that. The variety that is there between levels is something that I really enjoyed though. The first level, second level, third level, fourth level, all very different from each other, and the boss fights are my favorite part, hands down. This brings back the, hey, you gotta recognize the patterns of the boss and learn them before you can defeat it. And when you defeat the boss, you unlock a new character. Super cool stuff. I love the gameplay loop and the traversal that's there, where once you finish the game, I did say it's a little short, you can go back, replay, and reach certain areas that you couldn't reach before, because now you have characters that might be able to slide or jump a little higher, or you know, even turn into a bat and kind of reach even higher places that you couldn't do before. You're going to discover new areas. Replayability for this is like moderately high, if I'm honest. Again, I haven't spent the most time of it because busy weekend over here, so I can't wait to like sit there and really like dump a couple hours into this and discovering everything it has to offer. This game is serving its purpose, because I think the purpose of the game is to get people hyped for the main game coming, and if that's what they wanted to do, they absolutely got me. Now, of course, they did get a second team, and it's not the original people working on it, but I think that actually helped because they had a very cool vision, visually, musically, it's fantastic. and I couldn't recommend it enough. Have you guys played Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon? Let me know in the comments below. $10, go check it out. We're gonna try to keep these videos here a little bit shorter and concise and just try to tell you about these games that we are enjoying. So sound off in the comments below if you got it, or if you're gonna get it because of this video. And if you do get it because of this video, go play it, come back, let me know what you think, because it's almost gaming perfection. This is nostalgic driven for me a little bit because I do love the old game so much, but the gameplay is still so pure, the music is still so awesome. It's a really good time. I can't recommend it enough. Like I said in the beginning, let me know what you guys think of turning this into a weekly series where, you know, every week we recommend one game for you, tell you a little bit about it, and hopefully you guys go play it for yourselves. So we will catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for being here. Subscribe, like the video, join our Discord, follow on Twitter, all that good stuff. You guys are fantastic. Switch Force out.